Good day, class. It's another day in the class. You guys have been doing very well. Now, today we are looking at the composition part of our subject. So, what is the topic for the day? Narrative writing. Now, when we are talking about a narrative writing, what are we talking about? Now, let's read from our slide. It says narrative essay is the act of telling a story or giving an account of something that happened or something you witnessed. So when you are writing a narrative essay, it means you're trying to tell people or someone a story, or you are giving an account of what has happened to you. It might be something that has happened to someone you know or you personally. So narrative essay is basically storytelling. It means you are writing a story. You are trying to recount an event that has happened in the past. So when you are recounting an event, when you are trying to make us understand something that has happened to you in the past, it means you are narrating to us. So that is what narrative writing. Now, a narrative essay may be real or imaginary or a combination of both. So when we say a narrative essay may be real, it means it can be something that has actually happened to someone in history, or something you just try to imagine on your own. You can cook up a story and it could be something that actually happened in history. So let's see examples of questions that can fall under this type of writing. The first one I have here says, write a story that ends with I wish I had listened to my mother. Another one here says, write a story that ends with the saying I wish I had not cheated in the examination. The third one says, write a story to illustrate the saying one good turn deserves another. So these are all examples of a narrative essay question. So they are all there for us to tell a story. But with this one, we said they are based on a saying or a proverb. So when you are writing on any of these topics, it means at the end of it all, you will have these proverbs or saying ending them. It could be I wish I had listened to my mother. That would be what will close the essay. That will be the concluding part of what you are writing. Now let's look at the features of narrative essay. In this part of the slide, we are made to understand that a good story should have the following features. Remember, we are talking about a narrative essay, and we are made to understand that a narrative essay is all about storytelling. It tells us an account of an event. So we are looking at the features of a good narrative essay. What are the things we will see in a narrative essay that will make us to say, yes, this is actually a good story? The first one says good and interesting beginning. So to start with, your story must have a very good beginning to sustain the interest of your reader. So if you don't have a very good beginning, your readers will be discouraged. So it says this will win the interest of the reader. So if you want to sustain the interest of your reader, you must have a beginning that is very interesting. So start on a very good note when you are writing a narrative essay. Then the second part of the feature says body. So after you have introduce yourself, which is the beginning we are talking about, the body is now meant for you to sustain their interest. Now you have a very good beginning, so you need to sustain what you have started with. You don't need to the beginning is interesting and the middle is nothing to write home about. No, you need to make it interesting as well. Your body should keep them going. Then we have the concluding part. It says good conclusion. Your conclusion should be brief. You shouldn't be too elaborate when you are concluding. You have the body to be elaborate. In the body, you can use as much as you want. You can talk as much as you want in the body. But when you are writing the conclusion, you should be very brief, and it should end with the saying of the proverb. It depends on what you're writing on. So it should end with, for instance, the examples we have here: I wish I had listened to my mother. I wish I had not cheated in the exam. One good turn deserves your other. That's what we are talking about in the conclusion we have here, which says your conclusion should be brief and should end with the saying of the proverb. Now that is what we have there. Let's go to the upper slide and look at what a narrative essay is all about. Again, it says a narrative essay is the act of telling a story or giving an account of something that happened or something you witnessed. So that is what a narrative essay is all about. Now, we are made to understand that for our essay to be good, we need to have a very good beginning. Our body must be strong and it should be sustained as well. And we are made to understand that our conclusion should be brief and it should end very well. It should end very well. Now, this is the time for us to do our part in the class, and it comes with 3 different questions for us. The first one says, write a story that ends with I wish I had listened to my mother. So you need to write a narrative essay that will end with this particular topic. So you need to compose a story. It might be something that has happened to you. Maybe you did something, at the end of the day you regretted the action. So you need to tell us from the beginning to the end. Maybe your mother had warned you not to do a particular thing. You did it and you saw the consequences. So you need to narrate the story to us and make sure at the end, which is your concluding part, you should have the saying, I wish I had listened to my mother. Now the next one says, write a story that ends with the saying, I wish I had not cheated in the examination. So maybe you have done examination malpractice and you went through a lot when you were caught. So go through the experiences, share it with us in writing, and at the end of the day you should end it with you wish you had not cheated in the examination. And the last one says, write a story to illustrate the saying, one good turn deserves another. So I believe you understand. You can as well go through the slide one by one to get the understanding again. Then afterwards you answer your questions and you forward it to the appropriate quarters. All right, I believe you understand the class and I know you will do the right thing. All right, see you some other time.